Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Vijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Jana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Jana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Jana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Jana Munatira Vanachari Munatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Gopi Jana Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Shri Radhe Jai Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Shri Radhe Jai Patita Pavana Gaura Hari Nitai Patita Pavana Gaura Hari Jaya Nitai Patita Pavana Gaura Hari Nitai Patita Pavana Gaura Hari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 3, chapter number 24, Shlok Sankhya, Shlok number 60. Am I audible? Just someone say yes. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 There is a nice Kirtan also from this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It goes like this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is in Gujarati again. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudeva Gaya Ena Papa Tapa Jaya. Whoever sings the name of Lord Vasudeva, their Papa Tap, Pap and all the issue is the Tap, meaning all the miseries go away. So I sang more than 3 times because I was representing you all also on from my side. So I chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva more than 1 time. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. In saving some time, I'm just going to read the Sanskrit, and we are going to go directly into word-to-word translation. Vedahamadyam purusham avarti avatirna swamayaya bhutanam shevadhim deham bibhranam kapilam mune. Vedahamadyam purusham avatirnam swamayaya bhutanam shevadhi deham bibhranam kapilam mune. Vedahamadyam purusham avatirnam swamayaya bhutanam shevadhim deham bibhranam kapilam mune. Ved, no. Aham, I. Adyam, the original. Purusham, enjoyer. Avatirnam, incarnated. Swamayaya, by his own internal energy. Bhutanam, of all the living entities. Sevadhim, the bestower of all that is desired, who is just like a vast treasure. Deham, the body. Bibhranam, assuming. Kapilam, Kapil Muni. Mune, O sage. O sage, Kardama. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. O Kardam, I know that the original Supreme Personality of Godhead has now appeared as an incarnation by his internal energy. He is the bestower of all that is desired by the living entities. And he has now assumed the body of Kapil Muni. Purport. I'm sorry. Somebody is chanting wonderfully. If they can mute, thank you. Purport. In this verse, we find the words Purusham Avatirnam Swamaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is everlastingly, eternally the form of Purush, the predominator or enjoyer. And when he appears, he never accepts anything of this material energy. The spiritual world is a manifestation of his personal internal potency, whereas the material world is a manifestation of his material or differentiated energy. The word Swamaya, by his own internal potency indicates that whenever the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, he comes in his own energy. He may assume the body of a human being, but that body is not material. In Bhagavad Gita, it is therefore clearly stated that only fools and rascals, mudhas, consider the body of Krishna to be the body of a common human being. The word sevadhim means that he is the original bestower of all the necessities of life upon the living entities. In the Veds, also it is stated that he is the chief living entity and that he bestows all the desired necessities of other living entities. Because he is the bestower of the necessities of all others, he is called God. The Supreme is also a living entity. He is not impersonal. He, as we are individual, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also individual, but he is the supreme individual. That is the difference between God and the ordinary living entities. We'll chant Mangalacharan together. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarobhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Gatiranyatha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripastamaham Vande Paramanandam Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Since we have Nityananda Tradashi coming up so soon, we can chant and take extra mercy from Nityananda Prabhu. The Pranam Mantra, Nityanando Vadhutendur Vasudha Prana Vallabha Janavi Jivitapati Krishna Prema Prada Prabhu Padmavati Sutta Sriman Sachinandana Purvaja Bhavan Matto Jagatrata Rakta Gaura Kalevara Shintan Ram ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you again for engaging me in glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam. Standard disclaimer is that I have no qualification or realization to speak on this, but as a sense of duty, I'm trying to repeat and share whatever I heard from the senior Vaishnavas. And please stop me or correct me if I say something out of the place. But please bear with me. We have another 20 more minutes to discuss more on this. So here Prabhupada is very, very clear and very strongly establishes the authority or the reality, so to speak, of Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how he is real, how he is an individual, and how we have to consider him or take him when we think about him or talk about him, or for a practical reason, when we go through certain issues, as we are seeing ourselves as real, having body and people around us real, same way we should consider Krishna to be real. And this Bhagavatam describes innumerable pastimes of the Lord, and innumerable as there is a very famous shloka that there are waves in the ocean. As many waves in the ocean are the incarnations of the Lord. So as soon as you say Krishna cannot do this, that means you don't know Krishna. You are limiting Krishna. You are limiting the Lord. And very famous communication is, I think I heard, that if Krishna can be everywhere, God can be everywhere, why can't he be in his Archa Vigrahas, right? Same way, why can't he be he's been between the atoms, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastha Govindam Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. So the authority, or how would I, for lack of a better word, we are using this word, but it doesn't completely give the understanding about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Swarat or Swatantra, as Mahaprabhu says in his last Sikshastakam verse, that it doesn't matter how you treat me, but I will be your servant birth after birth. So that is the mood of the surrendered bhakta or a devotee. Of course, we are all in the process and we are all engaged in the loving devotional service or bhakti by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Varga and Acharyas, predecessor Acharyas. And we have to continue that path. Here, this word Swamaya is very, very important. Prabhupada uses it again in the purport one more time. Swamaya meaning we as living entities, somehow or the other, we are here trying to enjoy separately from Krishna. And our eternal place is Vaikuntha, or a spiritual world where there are no birth, death, old age, or disease. And we are pushed down. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. We are going through the cycle, innumerable. We don't even know what we ate 2 weeks back, and we want to know where I come from, or how I am going to, why I am here. Those are the questions actually will be answered in due course of time if our desire and qualification matches. So, Swamaya, Lord doesn't take birth because he is forced to. Lord takes the incarnation, or comes into existence. To incarnate is to manifest. He's always there, but he comes into existence or manifests himself to our eyes, or so-called in the form that our material senses can perceive in due course of time, to relish the loving relationship, bhakti. He comes with his own sweet will. Prabhupada very wonderfully translates some of the words in English also. It's very, very beautiful. Sweet will. Prabhupada uses that word. Sweet will of the Lord. Sweet will, causeless mercy. But just by doing a causeless mercy. And his own internal potency. Says even every chance that Srila Prabhupada gets to share about giving the differentiation between God and Jiva, or soul, Atma and Paramatma, or he gets the chance to share about who is God, who is Krishna, what is he about, where he lives, what does he, where does he live, or what kind of potencies he has. He's not leaving a single chance anytime that he gets. So it's very beautifully explained here also, is that Krishna has internal potency. And then there is differentiated potency or energy, which is material world is made up of. And internal potency is the spiritual world is made up of. And us, the Jiva Tattvas, are made up of the marginal potency, which is called Tatastha Shakti. So Alhadini Shakti or Anand Shakti, then the Prakrut or material energy, and the Tatastha Shakti, which is our, we are the Jiva Tattvas. Now here, even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, and Prabhupada uses this, what is it? Mudobhi na janati, right? That shloka is there. That only fools and rascals think that they cannot recognize me. And Prabhupada uses that very wonderfully here. That explains that only fools and rascals will consider me as an ordinary human being. And here he says this, the word sevadhim means that he is the original bestower of all the necessities of life upon the living entities. Now, just this word itself, this sentence itself kind of encapsulates our position, what we are, all the necessities just to live, just to be in this body or continue our life. That is all provided by him. Still, the human race is so arrogant and so ungrateful that denies the existence of the Lord, denies the existence, what to speak of existence, but even the concept of God. I heard a few years back I was listening to a class by a senior Vaishnava. He was saying that because America is a very, very devout Christian, country, even though we perceive it, not many people are going to church and so on and so forth, but they came up with this to the churches and all the theologians and all the other Christian, denominations, and everybody got together, and because they want to separate the church and the government, they, in the name of secularism, we have thrown God out of the window. So there shouldn't be G words spoken in any of the governmental or educational system. But still, there was an attempt made to share the intelligent design. We don't want to use the word God, but still they came up with, okay, you have a theory that things came up with a big bang and whatever the theory is. That could be a theory. You want to continue teaching teach that, no problem. But at least give people a chance to understand there is an intelligent design out there in connection with the creation. So because we can see certain rules that are already being followed in the mother nature, right? Seasons go, the seasons come and go. There's a day and night. There is, even though 3/4 of the Earth planet is water, the oceans don't cross their limit up to certain extent. So these are the laws. Who made these laws? So there is a theory presented, and still it was denied, discouraged, and actually discarded. That no, we cannot share this. And in terms of Srila Prabhupada's, very emphatically, he says, what is real secularism? Real secularism is that whoever theology or any path that you want to follow, there is a prudent or a fertile environment provided to kind of nurture that feeling or nurture those thoughts, and then let people decide on their own. Let people decide on their own. As we can see, most of the scientists, most of the intellectuals, most of the people who think anything beyond sleeping, eating, mating, and defending, they kind of come to a conclusion that there is something beyond us. My brother is a physician, and he was sharing that in his final residency, he's from Jamaica Hospital, and they, in the New York Museum or somewhere, they wanted to find out the size of the soul or existence of soul. They did some kind of experiment. When they closed that person who is about to leave the body, they closed it in a very, very tight, vacuum tight chamber or somewhat. And they could really observe there are material changes that are made and things that come into existence, very small, tiny particle. They could observe, even with the material senses, they could observe that something is changing. But still, for a mass or a general populace, they would deny the existence and continue to have them run into a rat race, not to think about anything else other than sense gratification. Whole commercialization or consumerism, we can definitely see, and as Kali Yuga progresses, it is all going to be more and more. It will become a lot more stronger and visible, and it will be right on your face, as they say it. It will be really difficult for us to avoid. So we really have to take shelter with all our heart and all our all our uh, energies and resources. As they say it, you have to put your money where your mouth is, right? If I say continue to say something else and then do something else, it really doesn't match. So with that, I came across one wonderful Vaishnavi, and I wanted to give this share this with you all, that we all can practice this very wonderful few statements we can make and share to ourselves, and we can share it with others also. I would request you all to kind of close your eyes and sit in the cross, any comfortable position, and just repeat these words in your mind, that kind of very helpful in putting the our philosophy or our understanding of our existence and how to really come out of this entanglement. This is kind of, I feel, of course, chanting Mahamantra and other spiritual activities that we engage in, Krishna is seeing our effort and helping us. But I think this is verbalizing that feeling. It takes less than 1 minute to say that. Please repeat after me in your mind. Oh Krishna, I have taken so many births and I have interacted and given pain or suffering to so many people. Please forgive me for all of that. And so many other living entities has given me a lot of pain and suffering in this life or other lives. I forgive them. This is the prayer of forgiveness. You don't have to repeat this one. So the prayer is done. But this is very powerful, intentful reading, prayerful reading, praying to the scriptures that I want to learn more about Krishna. In that mood, you learn or try to read. That gives a completely different meaning than just to read it for a knowledge purpose. So with this, I want to end here. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री श्री राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ भगवान की जय, जय पतित पावन गौर हरि की जय, जय। हरि हरि।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, my humble obeisance at your lotus feet. Please do not do this again. Please do not continue prayers till 8:40 and then 20 minutes. Don't do this again, please. Speak at least 40 minutes so that we can hear. And so now I have a question. Question is that not being able to appreciate others' greatness is basically envy. And the reason for that is one sees materially. So how can one see spiritually rather than materially? Like ultimately all violence, all anything bad we do and anyone does in this world is ultimately because of envy or hatred against another person, to higher extent or lower extent. So how to basically come out of envy and actually, instead of being envious, always appreciate others' achievements and etc.
Thank you, Prabhu. Actually, I don't have any realization to answer this question, because I am very much, in that path that you said. But I heard that anywhere you see anything greater than you or better than you, you feel or share or convince yourself that it is also given by Krishna. So you see Krishna's, one sees Krishna's uh, potency or mercy on that person with those qualities. And our Yugal Kishore Prabhu said it so nicely the other day, a few weeks back, when he said, it is so easy to come out of that feeling. As soon as you find out that mind is dragging you to some other negative place, you go and make that personal connection with that person and say, wow, Prabhu, amazing, nice kirtan, beautiful kirtan, wow, nice class. Then right away, even though in your mind you feel like something negative, the intelligence is telling the mind that, no, this is not right. Glorify that person. He is Krishna's devotee, or she is Krishna's devotee. And appreciate those qualities, because at the end of the day, I could say it from my personal experience. Even just to move, even in your bed, you need Krishna's mercy. When I had a back pain, I couldn't even turn in my bed, what to speak of doing anything else. Just turning in the bed from one side to the other was so painful. So that is the thing I can share. Prabhu, I'm really sorry I'm not able to continue this class longer. I have a 9 o'clock meeting to attend to. Please forgive me for my shortcomings, and I will try to be a better example next time. But I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for purifying me.
Please forgive me for any shortcomings or anything that I said, anything. Please forgive me. Haribol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Praise Krishna Kumar Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much.
Jai.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, all devotees.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.